BTV.
Right now on 69 News Weekend Edition, 2 people are facing charges after police say they were busted for cooking up drugs. Wait till you see where police say it happened. Fire ripped through a building in Allentown. Now crews are trying to pinpoint how it started. We'll have the details. A government shutdown was averted in the 11th hour, but the battle isn't over yet. We'll have the latest. Those stories and more, plus the complete AccuWeather forecast with 69 News meteorologist Mark Shanaberger. Dave Lesko has all the day's sports news. Good evening. I'm Karin Mallett. 69 News Weekend Edition starts now.
Your life, your world, your news. This is 69 News Weekend Edition, live at 6.
Crews in Allentown are still on the scene of a fire that ripped through an abandoned building. It started around 3 o'clock this afternoon in the 1300 block of South 5th Street in the city. Officials say the building was fully engulfed when they arrived. They say the roof of the building partially collapsed and that it will take some time to sift through the debris and search for a cause. Crews haven't said if anyone was hurt. It's been almost a month since the earthquake in Japan, and professors here say there's no risk of radiation illness from the nuclear fallout. The professors were hoping to ease fears today with a forum. WFMZ's Will Lewis joins us now in the studio with more on the dangers of radiation. Will?
Karin, those attending the Nuclear Energy Forum at the Da Vinci Science Center got a chance to learn about different types of radiation and get reassuring words that they are safe.
I think we have a pretty good idea of our safety here in the United States.
There's been questions around the community. The main concern is, will any of the radiation from the nuclear explosion at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant in Japan reach the Lehigh Valley?
I think that, yes, anytime a nuclear accident happens, it frightens people quite a bit.
How can it hurt you? It can hurt you if it gets inside of you.
That is the very reason why the Da Vinci Science Center in Allentown decided to hold a forum to put people at ease.
When something happens in the news that is based in science and technology, part of our responsibility as a community steward is to help provide clear information that go beyond the headlines.
People were told about the 3 types of radiation and how the risk is very low for any nuclear fallout in Pennsylvania.
I don't know where the debate's going to go, and I don't know how people are going to react. I do believe that it instills quite a bit of fear every time there's a nuclear accident like this.
And when it comes to the debate if the U.S. should continue to use nuclear energy, that is up to you to decide.
We're providing information. We're not telling anyone what to think. We're not about that. We're about providing the information in a clear and proper perspective so that people can make up their own minds.
Now, people at the forum say the information was helpful, and it was good the Da Vinci Science Center decided to host the event. Karin?
Well, thank you. In Japan, exit polls are showing Tokyo's governor has won re-election despite some unpopular comments he made after the tsunami. 78-year-old Shintaro Ishihara caused public outrage after suggesting that disasters were divine punishment for the egoism of the Japanese people. He retracted those comments a day later. Exit polls showed Ishihara secured victory in the election, but official results are expected to be released tomorrow. Meantime, the Japanese Prime Minister says the government will continue to do what it can to help the tsunami-devastated Northeast. Members of the Japanese community in the Lehigh Valley were doing their part for disaster relief. Today, they collected donations for Japan outside the Rave Theater at the Promenade Shops in Center Valley. The group is made up of people who live here in the Lehigh Valley but have family and friends living in Japan. 100% of the donations collected today will go to the Red Cross relief efforts in Japan. Police in Northampton County arrested 2 people who they say were cooking meth in a hotel room. The bust was in room 222 of the Hampton Inn on the Easton Nazareth Highway last night. Police say firefighters were called to the hotel after the smoke alarm went off. When crews arrived, they say the room was filled with smoke and had a strong chemical smell. Police arrested Tom Laudenbach of Wind Gap, who admitted he was cooking meth, and he said his operation went wrong. 38-year-old Deneen Noel of Saylorsburg was also arrested in the bust. Both are facing several drug-related charges and are being held in the Northampton County Prison. Police in Chester County have identified the motorcyclist killed in a crash yesterday. It happened just before 11:30 in the morning in the 500 block of Route 724 in East Pikeland Township. Police say 54-year-old Frederick Carfagno was killed. Police say his motorcycle struck a Jeep that was turning into an office complex. The road was shut down for 7 hours while police reconstructed that crash. The Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection is testing water from a Lehigh County creek after fish turned up dead. Officials say about 30 fish were found dead in the Cedar Creek this morning. A waterways conservation officer tells 69 News the fish were in the creek near Haynes Mill Road, stretching to Cedar Crest Boulevard. The fish were all different sizes and ages. Officials say there are other living animals in the creek and didn't see any visible problems with the water. The crews say it could be a week before the test results come in. While lawmakers averted a government shutdown late Friday night, the 2011 budget battle isn't over. President Obama is expected to lay out his long-term deficit plan this week, and Republicans and Democrats are reacting to the budget deal, deficit, and debt. Correspondent Barbara Hall has more.
There could be uphill battles ahead for President Obama and Congress on spending.
The ayes appear to have it.
The 2011 fiscal budget may be a done deal, but Republicans say more must be done to trim the government. The White House announced Sunday the president will lay out his plans for long-term deficit reduction this week.
We need to take a scalpel, not a machete.
That's senior advisor David Plouffe, who promised a balanced approach to cuts and talked about areas the president will not be pillaging.
We're not going to win the future in this country unless we invest in education, in research and development, in innovation and infrastructure. So that's going to be his North Star in these spending decisions.
Republicans, meanwhile, are asking the president to heed a message of austerity.
We've had our nation's first $1 trillion deficit, second $1 trillion deficit, third $1 trillion deficit, highest in the nation's history. At some point, you got to quit spending money you don't have.
Meanwhile, the Treasury says the legal limit on the amount of money the U.S. can borrow will be reached by mid-May. In what could be another big fiscal fight in Congress, Republicans say they won't support raising the so-called debt ceiling unless more big steps are taken towards deficit reduction. I'm Barbara Hall, reporting from Atlanta.
The Lehigh Valley Community Land Trust has 2 chances for folks to become homeowners. Today, the group held open houses at 2 newly renovated properties in Bethlehem. The group took homes that were run down and remodeled them. Now people can move into those homes, which are being sold at affordable prices.
It's very much like conventional home ownership in the fact that you own the property, you can pass it on to your heirs. The difference here is that the focus is on affordability, the focus is on how it affects the neighborhood, and the focus is on making a lower price so that it's available to more people.
The homes are now on the market and available. For more information, you can log on to lvclv.org. There's still much more to come on 69 News Weekend Edition. Planning for college, we have tips for you on what not to do in tonight's Money Matters. Hundreds were pounding the pavement in the Lehigh Valley. We'll tell you the reason for this stroll at Northampton Community College. Mark?
Big changes on the way. We'll talk about it as we take a look at your extended forecast, but some warmer air for the start of the work week. We'll tell you how warm it will get in a couple of minutes.
Close. You're watching WFMZ TV 69 News Weekend Edition live at 6 with Karin, Mallett, Jim Vaughn with sports, and meteorologist Amanda Cox with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast.
Step 1 in getting into college is the application, and sometimes it's as hard, if not harder, than getting a perfect GPA. In tonight's Money Matters, WFMZ's Stephanie Esposito tells us 5 common mistakes to avoid in those college application forms.
The college that you choose can influence the rest of your life, so getting into the one you want is very important. And where does it all start? Right here with your college application. Now, it may look like these things are pretty straightforward, but they're not. There are a lot of complexities in here, and there are a lot of traps that you can fall into. For example, not having a hook.
Hook is the one thing that's going to set you apart from other students. It could be an activity, it could be a passion, it could be an interest. If, let's say, you're an Adirondack hiker and you've hiked all 46 high peaks, that's a great hook as an outdoorsman.
Author Pam Proctor is an expert on the college admissions process. Another mistake she often encounters in this process, not reflecting upon your online image.
Well, 82% of admissions officers have reported that they actually use Facebook in evaluating candidates. So you absolutely do not want to have any photos or information on Facebook that will compromise you in any way.
Another common mistake experts say is students avoiding their high school guidance counselors and others who understand the process. Another mistake is not researching colleges to see the type of students that they're trying to attract. The final faux pas, getting too much help from your parents on things like your application essay.
The essay will lose your voice and will have your parents' voice, and your strengths will not come across. So go to somebody else, a teacher, a favorite aunt, have them look at your essays.
Your education starts right here with this application. So do some research, find out what mistakes to avoid, and do this thing right. For Money Matters, Stephanie Esposito, 69 News.
Today, hundreds converged on the campus of Northampton County Community College to walk for a cure. This is the 7th annual Walk for Juvenile Diabetes. The event was held by the East Central chapter of the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and there were walks like this one all over the country. Organizers say JDRF has raised over $1.6 billion for research over the years.
And that has related to monitors, better monitors to test your blood sugar, all the way through to things like beta cells and stem cell therapies that will eventually be, hopefully, some of the ways that will cure this disease.
And for more information on the foundation and to find out other ways to donate, you can go to jdrf.org. They're kind of bundled up today.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think it was the worst weather out there today. It was overcast, but the temperatures weren't that bad if you had a jacket on. And tomorrow, you're not going to need that jacket. But
everybody's excited.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like the summery type day that maybe we were first expecting. A little bit more cloud cover now in the forecast because everything's kind of getting gummed up. That warm front, it's being stubborn. It just hasn't passed through yet. Take a look at the current temperatures outside right now. 61 degrees in the Lehigh Valley. 63 in Trenton, 61 degrees in Philadelphia, 59 in Pottsville and Reading, 58 degrees in Stroudsburg. And we are expecting a warm front to kind of sneak through here as we move through the overnight period tonight. We're not going to see a whole lot of rain as that system passes off to the north, but we will deal with a lot of cloud cover and spotty drizzle here and there. Can't be ruled out, especially as we get closer to daybreak on Monday. Take a look at the satellite and radar, and you can see some of the clouds pushing into eastern Pennsylvania. Most of the models now have that warm front kind of back to the western part of Pennsylvania. So as we move through the overnight period tonight, that's why we have that chance for some spotty drizzle in the forecast. And I expect that there will be a good amount of cloud cover to start off the day on Monday before we finally see those clouds break up as we move into the afternoon hours for some sunshine. And I think some locations will deal with partly sunny skies as we move through the afternoon hours, but there's going to be a lot of clouds out there on Monday, even though we expect some very, very warm conditions out ahead of the cold front. You can see all the warm air moving in from the south and the west. We expect high temperatures in our viewing area to be anywhere from the mid-70s to low 80s as you get further off to the south. A little bit lower than we first expected, but still very warm for this time of year. It doesn't look like we're going to set any records on Monday, but we're going to get awfully close. Then late Monday into Tuesday is when we expect the showers and thunderstorms to move in. I expect that as we get closer to sunset on Monday, that's when we'll start to see some showers move into parts of our viewing area. Then through the overnight period, Monday into Tuesday, that's when the showers and thunderstorms will move through as the cold front passes off to the east. Now, even though that cold front will exit off to the east around daybreak on Tuesday, we're still expecting some lingering showers for the rest of the day on Tuesday and a good amount of cloud cover. And that's because an area of low pressure is going to kind of ride up this frontal boundary and sit with us for the rest of the day on Tuesday and into Wednesday. So it looks like through Wednesday afternoon, still the threat for some showers in the forecast. We don't have it in just yet because some of the models are indicating that it might get out of here a little bit sooner than that, but we'll keep an eye on that situation and may have to throw that shower into the forecast for Wednesday as we move through the next 24 hours. So stay posted for more on that. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy with some spotty drizzle, an overnight low of 50 degrees. And for tonight, for Monday, becoming partly sunny with thunderstorms arriving later on. It looks like as we move into the evening hours, a little bit closer to sunset, that's when we'll start to see some showers move in, and then showers and thunderstorms through the overnight period Monday into Tuesday. A high temperature on Monday of 78 degrees, and there's a look at the 6-day extended forecast. Monday also going to be a little bit on the breezy side. Tuesday we'll deal with showers as we move through the day. It looks like the possibility for some showers on Wednesday, as I mentioned earlier. We haven't thrown them in the forecast just yet, but as we get closer, we may have to do that. And then Thursday and Friday looking like some very, very nice weather for both of those days.
Well, 70s, we'll take that.
70s, we'll take it.
Good.
It's still good. It just may not be as sunny as people would like.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Mark. It is time now to take a look back at the week that was in your 69 News Week in Review. U.S. Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood spent Monday in the Lehigh Valley. He toured the explosion site in Allentown where 5 people died in February. He announced a new federal initiative during this visit. The hope is to avoid deadly explosions like the one 2 months ago. Part of the plan is to call on pipeline operators to find areas that are high risk and then repair and replace those pipes. The boys of summer returned to the area on Tuesday. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs took on the Reading Phillies in an exhibition game at Coca-Cola Park. The Pigs claimed victory with a 6-1 win. Then Thursday, both teams officially opened their seasons. The Iron Pigs defeated the Scranton Yankees 7-2 in Allentown. The R Phils fell to the Portland Sea Dogs 3-4 on the road in Portland. The Reading Phillies will have their season opener this Thursday at the newly remodeled First Energy Stadium. Swastikas are showing up on Lafayette College's campus in Easton. The symbol began appearing in March, along with comments about racial and sexual bias. Now the school is asking Easton police for help. In a statement to 69 News, school officials said the investigation will continue aggressively until those responsible are identified and held accountable. Lafayette also held a civility rally and sent out emails to students in response to the incident. State lawmakers are working to ban synthetic drugs in Pennsylvania. One of those drugs is being marketed as bath salts. Authorities say chemicals found in some commercial bath salts can cause hallucinations and paranoia. The State House unanimously approved a measure that would expand the list of controlled substances to include drugs that are being used recreationally. The bill now heads to the state Senate. That bill is co-sponsored by Representative Jerry Knowles, who represents part of Schuylkill and Berks County. That is your 69 News Week in Review. When we come back, the Iron Pigs look to get back on track against Syracuse. The Phillies look to take the rubber game in their series with the Braves. We'll have highlights. And they were learning tips from the pros at Coca-Cola Park. The field pros, that is. We'll tell you about the special contest.
Check.
Keeping the field looking good at a baseball game is tough, but now one lucky Little League will get some professional help. Today, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs held a seminar for coaches and parents from Little Leagues across the area. The director of field operations for the Iron Pigs gave tips on how to keep fields in tip-top shape. He says the seminar was his way of helping out the community.
A lot of leagues call me throughout the year and ask if I can come by and help, and if I had the time, I'd love to go out and help everybody. But unfortunately, a big part of my job is being here all the time.
One lucky Little League won the opportunity to have Butler and his field crew come out and renovate their field. And Dave Lesko is in now with sports for us, and more on the Iron Pigs. Dave.
Thanks, Karen. The time spent above the 500 mark was short-lived. The Iron Pigs took their season opener against the Yankees 7-2 on Thursday. Friday's game was postponed, and they fell to the Syracuse Chiefs 2-1 in 10 innings last night. This afternoon, they look to even things up on the season's first dog day at the park. Fun for everyone there. Eddie Bonine got the nod for the Iron Pigs, and we start things off in the top of the third. A cheap run coming up here. Eddie Bonine with the inside pitch that Eric Kratz can't handle. Call it a pass ball. Chris McConnell comes in to score 1-0 Chiefs. Braves then in the 5th. First pitch of the inning to Corey Brown. He lines one down the corner in right. He's going to motor all the way around to third. The relay from Josh Barfield gets away at third, and Brown would get the extra base. The Iron Pigs fall 2-0 today. Game 3 set for 7:05 tomorrow night. In the Eastern League in Portland, the Arphils were going for the sweep against the Sea Dogs. Chris Kissock gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, walking 2 and striking out 2 in 6 innings of work. The Arphils fall 2-0. They'll travel to New Hampshire for 3 against the Fisher Cats beginning tomorrow night. To the big club now, and the Phillies wrapped up their weekend series with the Braves this afternoon in Atlanta. The Fightins were looking to expand on their 10-run, 15-hit performance from yesterday. They entered the day in sole possession of first place in the NL East, but just a game behind ahead of the surprise Marlins. Cole Hamels got the start for the Fightins. He was hoping for a better outcome than on Tuesday against the Mets when he gave up 6 runs on 7 hits and 2 2/3, and he gets some help in the 4th. Jimmy Rollins chops one into the 6-4-3 double play. Shane Victorino comes in to score, fills up 1-0. Bottom of the 4th, Cole Hamels getting Martin Prado swinging. Hamels rebounded nicely, finishing with 8 strikeouts, no runs, 4 hits, and a walk in 7 innings. Top of the 6th, Phillies getting some insurance. The flying Hawaiian Shane Victorino smoking one to right, his first homer of the year. Then in the 9th, Ryan Howard grounds out to short. It ain't pretty, but that's going to play Jimmy Rollins. Phils win 3-0. They travel to Washington for 3 beginning Tuesday night. Staying in the NL East at Citi Field, the Mets were looking for their 2nd straight win over the Nationals. Chris Young got his 2nd Major League start in this one. Bottom of the 1st, Mets setting the tone. David Wright ripping one to center, a single. Jose Reyes chugs around from second, giving the oxygen when he gets in. 1-0 Mets. 2 batters later, Angel Pagan follows with, you guessed it, a single to center. David Wright, again, scoring from second. 2-0 Amazons. Then we go to the 5th. Copycat. Mets up 2-1 now. Ike Davis breaking his bat with a single to center. Willie Harris scoring from second. Mets up 3-1. The Nats would tie it up in the 8th, though, and played 4 in the 11th. 3 coming off a Lance Nix home run. The Nationals take 2 of 3, 7-3 and 11. The Mets begin a 4-game set with the Rockies tomorrow night. In the Patriot League, Lehigh and Lafayette met up again today at Hilton Ron Field for a double dip. They split yesterday's contest, and they do the same today. Lehigh takes game 1 9-2, while the Pards take the nightcap 8-3. On the softball side, both squads meeting up at Kauffman Field at Lehigh for a doubleheader, and Lehigh takes them both 1-0 in the 1st and 10-0 in 5 innings in Game 2. Their postponed games from Friday will be played on Wednesday afternoon. Finally, on the ice, last night the Flyers picked up their first home win since March 8th with their 7-4 win over the Islanders. With a victory, the Orange and Black snapped a 5-game losing streak and won the Atlantic Division Championship for the first time since 2004. The Flyers will face the Sabres in the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Game 1 begins Thursday night at the Wells Fargo Center, and the Lehigh Valley's still a few years away from our expected arena, but our proposed tenant wrapped up their American Hockey League schedule this afternoon in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. The Phantoms fall 4-2. Adirondack ends the 2010-2011 campaign with a 31-38-4 record. Tiger Woods, he shot a -5 in the final round. 10 under, tied for 3rd right now, but Adam Scott leads Carl Schwarzer by a stroke through 16. We'll have some highlights coming up tonight at 10.
Always interesting there at the Masters.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Dave. There's much more to come for you on 69 News Weekend Edition. They're thawing out and ready for spring in one Berks County community. We'll take you to the celebration.
For the past few weeks,
it's Tom Schaefer's RV.
If you have a story for 69 News, call the newsroom nearest you or email us at news@WFMZ.com.
Today, people in Hamburg created a way to think spring. They organized the inaugural Fall Fest event at Freedom Toyota in town. Organizers say it's a way to get everyone ready for spring and to pass the time between other events in Hamburg, like the Hamburger Festival and the very popular King Cross Parade. I saw funnel cakes there.
Funnel cakes. I also saw Les from Dietrich's.
Yeah.
He was out there.
There you go.
Speaking of which, thanks for the tie list. Nice.
Yeah, very nice. Paisley.
Yeah, Paisley.
It's going to be nice tomorrow.
It is going to be nice. So we're going to continue to thaw out as we move into Monday. Temperatures in the 70s. Not too bad. Nice for the sports if you're doing anything outside tomorrow. And looks like we will have to deal with some rain. It looks like late tomorrow. But I think after sunset is when most of that moves in. Showers and thunderstorms, and then they'll continue. It looks like Tuesday and Wednesday a little bit unsettled, but nice weather for Thursday and Friday.
How about Tuesday morning? We got the Iron Pigs at 10:30. How the fields look at
Take the umbrella, dog.
Yeah? Great.
That's fabulous. All right. Thank you very much. That'll do it for 69 News at 6. We'll be back again with more local news for you tonight at 10. Remember, you can also log on to WFMZ.com, where 69 News is always on. For everyone here at 69, I'm Karin Mallett. Have a great night. We'll see you at 10.
Take care.